Yes.
Starting the Chumash Bamidbar. Kli Yakar brings a medrash. Medrash says there was a king got married to a woman, got divorced, married, divorced, married, divorced. Sounds like the aspiring president of the United States of America. Finally, he met a woman. She was Aniya Bas Tovim, and he said to his friend, "It's not nice. I'm going to marry her." And then, I can't do this. Can't do this. With her, I want to do it right. I'm going to write a shtar, a ksuva, and I'm going to obligate myself to her totally. So if chas v'sholom I ever mistreat her, she could take out a ksuva, and she could collect a ksuva. So first there was many nations in the world. They came, they went. The Torah doesn't even mention where they are exactly and when they came and because there was no shtar. It was just in and out. But the Eden came. The Eibush said, "Aniya Bas Tovim, Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov. I'm going to marry them. I'm going to make a shtar. I'm going to write the date, and this way they could be goyve."
What do you call them? Aniya. Why do you refer to
Why? Eden are Ani is bittul. It's a maila. So they're humble. So the Kli Yakar says, the Chazal tell us that the Ziyam Chasanos, the Simchas Libo, those two special days. They have Matan Torah, the day of the building of the Beis HaMikdash, the same thing, the day of the Mishkan. Marriage is two parts of marriage. In those days they did it 10 months apart. Yomim also, like the story with Rivka, they would do one part of the marriage, which is called the Edison. Give her a ring, say Aret Mekudeshesli. Then the woman would get 10 months to get ready for the wedding, and then would be the wedding. The Eden had Matan Torah in the beginning of Chodesh Sivan. Sivan Tammuz of El Tishrei Cheshvan Kislev Teves Shvat Adar Be'echad Benisan Hukanam Mishkan.
That's the 10 months?
That was the 10 months. The Kiddushin was by Matan Torah. Eibush gave them the ring, which is the Torah. But now there has to be Chavdala Kiddush Tekala, which is the 24 Sforim. They didn't have to. So now was the Akomas HaMishkan, and the Mishkan was the house, the bedroom, where the Eibush is going to be together with the Eden. That was the Chuppah. The Chuppah is when the husband takes the wife into his house. And now that was the building of the Mishkan. But after they get married, there has to be Sheva Brachos. Shiva Simei Miluim. And this will be 30 days. The Chosin spends with the Kala. That's why only they waited to count the Eden. Be'echad b'chodesh hasheni b'shana hashenis l'tzeisem Mitzrayim, which is the first pasuk of this week's parsha, the first pasuk in Bamidbar. And that's why the Rebbe says that Minig Yisrael is that the Shabbos before the wedding, the Chosin goes and gets an Aliyah the Torah. So this is Shabbos before the wedding. So that's why Klal Yisrael read the parshos Bamidbar, because this has a special connection to Matan Torah. So in order to understand it better, the connection, what's the connection of this week's parsha to Matan Torah? So as we said, there is some connection over here, but to better understand it, let's learn the first rashi, two sichos. We'll learn one rashi, and then how the Rebbe takes it apart, the pshut shel mikra, to understand the pshat, and then another sicha, how the Rebbe takes it apart and avodas Hashem. Give me a chumash. So parshos Bamidbar, Aleph Aleph. Vidaber Hashem on Moshe Bamidbar Sinai. Eibush spoke to Moshe in the desert of Sinai. B'Oil Moed Be'echid L'Chodesh Hasheni was an Oil Moed, and it was the first of the second month. That was a month after the Oil Moed was put together and inaugurated. B'Shana Hashenis in the second year L'Tzeisem Eretz Mitzrayim, after they left Egypt. Leimer, this is what he said: "Sus Rishkol Yisrael and Shvuos to count the Jews. is called that they should be counted. And then the Torah, right? This is the and the Torah goes through exactly how they counted the Jewish people. Ben Esrim Shana V'Malakos, it's over B'Yisrael together, and it says, Ata v'Aaron, you and Aaron together should do the counting. First Rashi, so Rashi, V'Idaber. The Rashi skips a few words and he says, Bamidbar Sine Be'echid L'Chodesh. Rashi says, Mitochi Bas and Lafanov, because the Eibishter loves the Jewish people, the Ma'ina Isam called Shah. He counts them all the time. When they went out of Egypt, he counted them. Then a second time, a second time when they fell in the egel. So he counted. Laid the minion and they saw him to know how much was left over. Now that he came to rest the Shekhinah on them, he counted them a third time.
What's this with that there? It says Shon Kasher.
Huh?
It should be the Yomer. It's the Shon Chiba, so much.
I hear.
Yes.
This all counting is a chiba.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Why was Veidaber? Be'echad l'chab b'Nisan hukam ha'mishkan. First day of Nisan is when the Mishkan was put together. Be'echad b'yir, the first of the year, Monam, a month later, they were counted. As many Rashis, just read the words, go on, move on. But the Rebbe says, no, you got to look at Rashi, what he says and what he doesn't say, the diuk of the words, and also the arich. Sometimes Rashi says there's something, Rashi's trying to say something here. So first, it seems like a contradiction. If something you like, you count all the time. You have a big stack of hundreds, you count it. A couple of days later, you count it again.
It's still there.
Yeah.
Can't take room.
Yeah, or the other way around. So you count the things you like. You look, you count. So we don't. The Rashi says count. Why? Because he loves them. And then he says, well, because the Egel, he wanted to know how much were lost. That doesn't mean he loves them. You're saying you don't have to love something. If you have a fire and then you have a loss, you assess the damage. So why does he count them? Like Mitechi Bossam, because he loves them, or because in the Egel he wanted to know how much were left?
Well,
And
it shows that even after such a fall, I still love it.
But why did Rashi says Leida Minyan and I saw him? The reason he doesn't only say after, in order to know how much was left over. And even the words Leida Minyan and I saw him is a funny. Where the word Noiser in Lashon Kodesh comes from, there's the mitzvah of Noiser. There's a mitzvah of Pigel, a mitzvah of Noiser. Noiser means that it was left over from the basar of the korban, leftovers. Noiser means leftovers. So, how many Jews died in the Egel?
3,000.
Huh?
1,000.
Yeah. So, what does it mean, leftovers? What do you mean, leftover? 3,000 died, that's it.
Out of how many?
Out of over 600,000. What do you mean, who was left over?
Who was left? What about
left over means crumbs. You know? Whole korban was eaten, nice, a little toffel, it's a little bit. What does it mean? What does it mean, the diuk aloshim, leida minyan son? And why is Rashi kenoflo be'egel? And what's the arichas at the end of Rashi? He says the first day is when he established the Miskan. That was the first of Nisan, the first of year is when he counted them.
What he did from whole
Yeah.
months to do it.
And who told the Rashi that the second time they were counted, it was because the Egel? The Egel, when did the Egel happen?
How much before? It was before. How much time before?
It was Shivas and
The
B'Tammuz.
Egel happened, the Moshe Rabbeinu did not come down from the mountains.
Yeah.
Shivas and
3
B'Tammuz.
days.
17.
When did they get counted?
Sabru Haluchot.
Right. Yud Zayin Tammuz, Shtabar Aluchas. When were they counted? They were counted after Yom Kippur. Okay. Could say, well, when should he count them? He was in the mountain 40 days, another 40 days, another one. You get around to counting them after Yom Kippur. But he was down from the mountain, and he did a lot of stuff. He killed these people, he did this, he did that. Moshe didn't go straight back up to the mountain. We can say, okay, counting takes a long time. But right after Yom Kippur, there was the donations for the Mishkan. Right away, there was the Machtas HaShekel that they used for the Adon, and maybe that's why they were counted. How does Rashi know Pshuta Shel Mikra? It was in order to know who was left over. I mean, the Yerushalmi brings a posek called Oiver al Pkudim. Oiver means that they did a sin, but that's drush. And it's also, it's not loidia chibosn, it's for a kapora, but Rashi doesn't bring it anyway. Okay.
And why they never show me to count?
Oh, that's a good Takashi. Abisha needs to count. He doesn't know. We count because we don't know. How much is in the envelope? I don't know, a couple of $100. So let's count. Rabbi Yochanan needs to count to know.
Well, it has significance, the amount. The number is
The
significant.
count itself is
Yeah.
The count is significant.
Yeah, but he knows how much is there. Why does
Hashem
he
knows
count?
already, but
Yeah, so why is he counting?
for the Yidden to know.
That's very good. Very good. First, let's get to the Pshuta Shemikra. Rashi says Abisha counts them Kol Shah all the time. What does Kol Shah mean? If I tell you something happened 10 times in approximately 4,000 years, would you call that Kol Shah? It's approximately 2.5 times for every 1,000 years. Would you call that like Kol Shah? Like, this is constantly,
all the time.
constantly happening? Say Reb Shmuel Munkus, his wife asked him to go out to the market. She was baking challah or something. She needed some eggs to get a dozen eggs. So he went out. He forgot why he was going. He had a big chukka to hear a maimah from the Alter Rebbe. So he forgot he went to get eggs. So he went and he walked all the way to Yozna, and he got there, and he was lucky. He heard a maimah, and after the maimah he was dancing, and he was so happy. He remembered his wife sent him to buy eggs. Oy. So he went back. He walked back to his town, and he ran to the marketplace, and he bought a dozen eggs. And his wife needs it, so he ran home. And as he got into the house, he fell, and the eggs broke. He said to his wife, "You see what happens when you do things in a hurry?" Take it easy. What's the hurry? All the time, the Abish is counting the Jews. He's counting them all the time. The Medrash says how many times? They were counted 9 times. And the Mashiach will come. Allah said, it'll be counted a 10th time. It's in the Medrash Tanchuma, and the Medrash Yalkut Shemaini brings it. So, Kol Shah, that's not really Kol Shah. They went out of Egypt, true. Pretty quickly they were counted. Right when they went out of Egypt, they were counted. Then, right after Yom Kippur, they were counted. And then, the first of Chodesh year, they were counted. And the next year, and that was it. And 38 years later, as they were about to enter Israel, they were counted again. In the days of Shaul, they were counted. The days of David, they were counted. Imagine just 9 times in history, Klal Yisrael were done. Not like an American census, it's once in 10 years. And even that, the census is once in 10 years, not Kol Shah. This is in 4,000 years, having 10 times. You get Kol Shah. What does it mean, Kol Shah? So in Chassidus, we'll talk about what that means. We'll talk about this soon. But in Pshuta Shemikra, it has to have a pshat. What does it mean, Kol Shah? So the answer is, Kol Shah doesn't necessarily mean every hour, every minute, every day, every month. It means every special occasion. Kol Shah, every special occasion. Every time there's a special occasion. Jews go out of Egypt, special occasion. They were slaves to Pari, now they become slaves to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, because they're getting ready to go to Mount Sinai. Now the purpose is to become Hashem, to convert, like the Gemara says in Yevomis, it was a conversion. And, okay, so they did a bris milah right when they went out of Egypt, and then they had the Hazah and the Tefillah B'Har Sinai. We count them. It's a special occasion. And then now, Rashi says that he wanted to be Mashre Shechina now that he's going to rest the Shekhinah on the Jewish people, because it's going to be he consummate the marriage, Nesuyim, they're going to go into the oil moed. Again, the Eibishter counts them. Okay.
But we weren't really converted, right?
Chazal say it's a din of Gerus, yeah?
Because
As a din of conversion.
but we have a different status other than Goyim.
Before Matan Torah, our status was complicated.
Yeah.
But they became real Jews by Matan Torah.
Not
The
like-
Gemara says in Yavamas.
Not like a Goy becomes today.
The same thing. The Gemara says in Yavamas, that's how we learn. Just like the Jews came in to become Jews. They came into Judaism through Milah, that they did in the night of Pesach.
The Brit was
And right, and they did Hag the Tefillah.
But Gerim
And
have certain limitations that we don't have. So with Gerim, you're saying.
oh, it's a different din, but still.
Different thing. Okay.
So going out of Egypt was a special occasion. They were counted. Now that the Mishkan was built, special occasion. They're counted. After Yom Kippur, what was the special occasion that was after Yom Kippur? So to say that it was that the Eibishter said start building the Mishkan, but they're going to be counted after it's finished. Anyway, before you start something, that's not a celebration. The celebration is after you went out of Egypt, after you build the Mishkan. So, but now the day after Yom Kippur, the Eibishter says count the Jewish people. What's significant about today that they're counted? So you say, oh, because the Egel, because the Chet Egel, and we need to know how many people survived. That's not a special occasion. 3,000 Jews die. How special an occasion is it when a Jew dies? Chas v'shalom chemol atzah. Well, what's the special occasion? Rashi says, that's what Rashi says, Leida minyan ha-noisorim. What is noisor? Rashi says already, he has a problem. That's why it's important to learn all the Rashis. Rashi says, Veidaber Moshe la'anan ve'la'alozer ve'la'isomar bonam ha-noisorim. The leftovers, what do you call it? Kind of funny language. The leftover sons, leftovers. Who is leftovers? A little bit of bread, kugel kachont. You have leftover chont after Shabbos. Who always at the age-old debate. What do you do with leftover chont after Shabbos? You throw it out. You freeze it for next week. You feed it to the cat. You take off warts with it. And a great aunt, she had a segula take off warts with chont.
Maybe the English translation doesn't seem to be.
Huh?
The English translation you're using doesn't seem to me to be.
To noiser?
No, yeah. I would, instead of saying leftover, I would say the remaining.
Remaining. So Rashi has a different shot. Rashi says, Rashi has this, explains what is noisorim. Rashi says, ha-noisorim min ha-misa. Melamed she'af aleim niknas ha-misa al yedei avoin ho-egel. Hu shenemer ba'ar nisan of Hashem. B'tfilos ha-shemoyzer bot l'mechza.
Safe.
Right. Noiser here is not like Noiser, the Korban Noiser, which, again, what did you translate Noiser by a Korban?
No, but the sons of Aharon.
Oh.
In general, that's the whole thing in general. That people these days, especially in Hutz Lawrence, they read Hebrew, but they think in either in Yiddish or in English, and that messes things up. Because
Even people that are that know Hebrew.
Also the same thing.
Because, right.
So you have to understand what the word Hebrew,
Right.
biblical Hebrew,
Exactly.
really means, and often it's not necessarily translatable
Right.
into other languages very well. So I would say that if she were B'nai Aharon, it's better understood to mean the remaining sons of Aharon, because it's nicer to say the leftover garbage that wasn't good enough for the Rebbe to eat. So you're giving it to the Hasidim. But they weren't the leftovers, they were the remaining ones.
Right.
Then
But still, Rashi says the pshat of Noisorim is, like, there's the word Noisorim, according to Rashi, means ha-Noisorim min ha-misa. That means they were speared. The word Noiser means they were speared in this context. In this context, where Rashi says, the word Noiser means they were speared. Their life was speared. So here also Rashi saying that the Torah said that the Eibishter said to Moshe Rabbeinu, I'm going to wipe them out. I'm going to make you into a nation. So after the Eibishter forgives the Jewish people, what's up shot when you say they laid them minyan hanoisorim, who was speared? And we see, the Gemara says that Madach we say by Purim, he says Mala Avdus Lecherus. You celebrate Memisa L'chaim like Old Shkein. So their life was speared. All of Klal, it's not just that 3,000 people died. Leida minyan hanoisorim. to know how great, because every time there's a major event that the Jews are counted. They go out of Egypt, they're counted. Their life was speared. The Rachmana litzlan, there was a terrible gzeira against them. And then the Eibusha said, Salachti kidvarecha. So that's why Rashi uses this expression, Leida minyan nesorim, similar to the way he explains by Aaron. Nesorim means that their life was speared. That's why they were counted. That's why they weren't counted shvuos b'tamuz, because then the Eibusha wasn't fully nisratza. When did he say Salachti kidvarecha? He fully showed that he loves them, and the full forgiveness came out in Yom Kippur. That's why Lohidiach Chibasam, to show how much he loves them through the counting, and this counting is connected to the fact that their life was spared, and he forgave them on the occasion of the forgiveness that their life is spared. They're counted. When should that counting be? After Yom Kippur. That's why we're counted after Yom Kippur.
In other words, it's answering why you didn't count right away, why you was waiting
Right.
for Yom Kippur.
Not to say.
Because now I could count.
Not to say. Not to say. And that's
If you love something, you count it right away. You don't wait a whole month.
more than a month. From Yud Zayin Tammuz till after Yom Kippur.
Right.
So now we understand.
Se'u. When Rashi counts them, it's an elevation.
Right.
They need an elevation,
Right.
I guess.
So now this answers the shaila. What does it mean that Rashi says they counted Kol Shah? In Pashut Pshat, Kol Shah doesn't mean that every hour, every day, every week, every month, because the whole history, we know that they're counted only 10 times, the Jewish people, until Mashiach comes, including the counting when Mashiach comes. Kol Shah means at every major event. Mashiach comes, they get counted. Go out of Egypt, they get counted. They were speared from death at the story of the Egel, Yom Kippur, the Eibishter Salakta, they were counted. Now the Eibishter rests the Shechina on them, they were counted. Rashi quotes the word Bamidbar sine, be'echid l'chodesh. In other words, he wants to say, don't think that they were counted just because it was a different city, it was a different place, different time. It was connected with the Shechina, the fact that they built the Mishkan. Why weren't they counted in that day, Rosh Chodesh Nisan? Why did they wait for a month later to Rosh Chodesh Iyar? So that's why Rashi says, Be'echad ben Nisan Hukam Mishkan, Be'echad Be'ir Monon. Rashi is trying to give us a remez, a hint, because we said that Rosh Chodesh is a very special day. The Eibishter wanted, that day was impossible to count them. Oisiyim not la'aseh HaTorah, it was too much. Eibishter wanted they should be counted on a day that's unique. So therefore, it was after the building of the Mishkan, but on that day it wasn't possible, so they waited a month for another Rosh Chodesh. That's nice, al pi pshat, but al pi chassidus we still have to understand. Why did they wait for a month? And in general, al pi chassidus we have to understand many questions here. Number one, al pi chassidus, what Shmuel asked before. The Eibush counts to show them how much he loves. So what do you mean? The Eibush counts because he loves them. When you love something, you count it because you don't know how much there is. The Eibishter knows how much there is. So what does it mean? The Eibishter counts in order to. If I count dollar bills, it's because I like money. But the Rebbeinu Shalom, why does he count the Yidden? He already knows the number. And then Bechlal.
And also, you cannot do Rosh Chodesh Nisan both. Of course, the Mishkan and counting.
Yeah, but it's a big deal. Can't do it both. Pshat Hakevet. And why is it that this counting is emphasized that it have to be done through Moshe and Aaron? The Rebbe's Pshat is like this. The Eibishter wants to show how much he loves the Jewish people, like Mr. Silverman said. It was not for the Eibishter didn't count it because he wants to show the Jewish people how much he loves them. When you love your children, there's two things. A child comes home, they did well in school, you're very proud of them. Every kid has their milas. You have pride in every kid's achievements. But that's not why you love your children. You love your children because they're your children. And in that respect, all children are equal. The Eibishter wants to show the love of the Jewish people in the way that all the Jews are equal. There isn't that one person has 2 votes and there's another guy has a half a vote. Everyone is equal. Where is everyone equal? Where do you see every Yid is equal? from Moshe Rabbeinu to the Poshet Apshutim in counting. Because in counting, Moshe Rabbeinu doesn't take more than one, and the simplest guy doesn't take less than one. They're all counted as one full
As
unit.
individuals.
Yotazoi. So therefore, over here is where the Eibusha shows where in what Nakuda are all Jews equal. In Lomdus, you can't say Lomdus. Some people are bigger Lomdom, some in Balitz Chesed, some people have a lot of Chesed, some have little. Tzedakah, some give a lot of tzedakah, some give little. In good character, some have terrific character, and they're shining character, and some have a rotten character. So in which Nakuda, on which point, you say all Jews are absolutely equal, and there's no difference. In the Neshama, the Nakuda Sayyad is that Pintalayid, there is a point where all Jews are exactly equal. That point the Eibishter wants to reveal to the world, and reveal to the Jews, like Rashi says in the previous Pasha, to let them know how much he loves them, to reveal that part of their neshama to every Jew. The counting, when the Eibishter counts every Jew, the exercise of counting every Jew reveals the etzem of their neshama to every Jew.
So they had a spiritual
Awakening.
experience.
Awakening.
Must have had a big.
Exactly. Every counting was like something amazing. That's why the final white. It's Mashiach will come. It's not just that like Congress enacted a law every 10 years, census. Baruch Hashem, a couple million people get a job for a few months. They go knocking from door to door. Mashiach is going to come. Now, how many Yidlach are there around the world? So we're going to send people knocking the door with a form. The minyan of Mashiach is going to come, just like the first minyan went out of Egypt, was a big deal. It was to reveal how much love, to reveal the neshama of every Jew.
They were aware of their neshama at that point in time.
Exactly.
They became aware.
They became
aware at that point.
At that point. Not only at that point, that's a pshat kol shah. It had an everlasting effect. It had an everlasting effect. And what kind of effect? Kol shah. What does kol shah mean? Shah means every hour, every moment, every point in life. A person could say, Achmon al-Tzan, the Yetzer Hara tries to force a person to do things against the neshama's will. Then a goy wants to force a Jew to convert to Avodah Zarah. It says, what's the big deal? A few weeks later, you'll go back to Judaism. Right now, you'll sin. You'll do tshuva. So what's the big deal? So sin right now, and then you'll figure out you'll do tshuva later. But we see that that's not that way. The teva of a neshama is that he's ready to have Mesidus Nefesh to get killed, so one moment he wouldn't bow to Avodah Zarah. And not thinking, well, it's like I can bow now and do tshuva tomorrow. No. Why? Because we're dealing with the neshama, which is higher than time and space, so it makes no difference in the neshama one moment or not. It's out of the question to be separated from the Eibishter if it's one moment or if it's more than a moment or less. So therefore, the counting, which reveals the neshama of a Jew, where at the point where every Jew is equal, the simplest, the Moshe Rabbeinu, that gives a power, an everlasting power, kol shah. At every little hour, when Yetzer Hara says, Nish gefährlich, you'll say right now, don't worry, tomorrow, Yom Kippur. Don't worry. But right now, just go for it. Sin. So, because
it goes against the grain.
But the Eibush to reveal that grain, that neshama, so kol shah at every juncture, at every shah, like I say, koiner alon b'shah achas. At kol shah, every little point of time that a Jew will be able to stand up against the goyim and against the Yetzer Hara.
Have you ever thought of the reason why that in our time, I guess, our time where this doesn't apply, other nations forcing Jews to convert. It's now 2,000 years, but now we don't have that.
Different challenge.
Interesting.
Different
Why?
challenge, right? There's Eretz Asher and Eretz Mitzrayim. There's a different challenge, a very, very different challenge.
Now we have a way to do it from the telephone.
Yeah, a very different challenge.
I want to ask you, does it have to do with the 49 levels of Kedusha and the 49 levels of Tumah and the battle that's going on that were in times of Mashiach?
Because the Kedusha,
That's why
is
maybe.
strong.
In this point in time, I'm asking.
When Mashiach will come, we'll know for certain.
But it could be that we're
For sure it could be.
with this
For sure it could be.
Maybe
generation.
we broke it.
Maybe we broke through, exactly. Exactly.
You have over 1 million balashuvas.
Yeah.
So they're scared that
It's tipping, it tips.
it's tipped already. It's more
So
fun.
now we can go through the 3 times Eden were counted. First time they were counted, the second and the third. The first time was in the Gam Mitzrayim. Second time when they were spared, their life was spared after the Egel. And the third is right after they built the Mishkan. So when you say the Neshama is revealed, it can be in 3 ways. One is Neshama is revealed. The Alter Rebbe says, Kal Shebekalim is Moise Nefesh. So I think the second point.
From where you got it.
A Jew is called Kal Shebekalim. And he's Moise Nefesh. You should call him the Rebbe of all Rebbes. He's Moise Nefesh. Why you call him Kal Shebekalim? Kal Shebekalim means the worst of the worst. The worst of the worst is Moise Nefesh. To me, he sounds like the best of the best. Why you call him Kal Shebekalim? The truth is, it's Kal Shebekalim. There's another issues. Chas Rachmana Litzlan, he can be over in Ratzon Hashem. But just to bow to Avodah Zarah, he won't do. That's why he's still called Kal Shebekalim. So there could be a revelation of the Neshama that's very powerful, but the koiches pnimiyim, the internal parts of the person, doesn't change. It doesn't penetrate. He doesn't understand things differently. He doesn't feel things differently. But the Neshama says you can't bow. You get killed, but you can't bow. That's number one. That's one way. A second way is that the person all of a sudden, everything has changed. Because of this experience that the Neshama is revealed, we find sometimes people that had an experience of Mesiras Nefesh, and all of a sudden they not only they started keeping Torah mitzvahs, they turned around, they became different people. But
Also in the physical. To pick up a truck.
Not to say. So exactly, and then there's a third step. Is not only that the neshama changed at the moment and overwhelmed the seichel and the midas of the person, but a person starts thinking differently and feeling differently. Be'emes, the seichel understands things from a different perspective. And Hashem is revealed, and all of a sudden they feel Avas Hashem, they feel Yidus Hashem, they understand things in a different perspective. There could be 3 ways of how the neshama reveals itself. When they went out of Egypt, it was in the first level. It was Amunah Pshuta Lachtach Acher Bamidbar, but it didn't penetrate. It didn't penetrate completely. Then was before they built the Mishkan. There was a revelation of the neshama. It penetrated into the Seichel Midas, but not in a complete way. Then there was after Akamas HaMishkan, was Shchante B'Toichem, that every Yid became a Mishkan to the Eibishter. So all of a sudden, every Jewish mind and every Jewish heart really understood things differently and connected to the Eibishter. The Seichel understood the beauty of Alakus, and the Midas felt the Eibishter. So the Neshama all of a sudden had a very profound effect on the person in the way of Pnimius. That's why they were counted Kol Shod. These 3 steps are revealing the Neshama Lohidiyah Chivosan. There were 3 steps. That's why the 3rd time they were counted, it was a Chodesh Iyar, not a Chodesh Nisan. Why Chodesh Iyar? What's the difference between Nisan and Iyar? Nisan is the way the Eibishter revealed himself. Iyar is when they count Siyas Omer, when the Yid purifies himself. It's like the difference of Moshe and Aaron. The Zohar says that Moshe Rabbeinu Sheshvina the Malka by the chuppah, someone carries the chosin, brings the chosin to the chuppah, and then someone brings the kala to the chuppah. Right? The parents of the chosin are walking the chosin, the parents of the kala, or the fathers of the chosin walking the chosin, the mothers of the kala.
Father and the mother.
The father and the mother. Visalan Zayin. So Moshe Rabbeinu is called Sheshvina the Malka. He helps the Eibush to come close to the Yidden. And Aaron is called Sheshvina the Materinise. He helps the Yidden come close to the Eibush. So therefore, in this counting, in the 3rd level, the Idiyah Chibasam, when the Neshama was revealed, not number 1, which is going on in Mitzrayim, not number 2, which is after Yom Kippur, which is before they built the Mishkan, but number 3, which is after they built the Mishkan, which is Shechante B'Toichem, when the Gilui of the Neshama affects the person in the most internal way. So this was dafka b'chodesh Iyar and dafka through Aaron, because this had the milah of chodesh Iyar and the milah of Aaron. That's why we're reading this parsha right before Chag HaShvuos. As we said before, that the Chag HaShvuos is the Chasna of Yidden the Eibishter, and therefore then it's Su'us Rosh Meloshin Nesuyin. They're getting married, so the Chosn has to get an Aliyah. So the Aliyah Torah before Mount Torah, the way the Kfis of this year is a parshos Bamidbar. And what's the connection? Because on Mount Torah, the Eibishter comes down, the Yidden go up, Al Yoinim Yerdu, Tachtoinim Yalu, which is has both milas, a Moshe Rabbeinu bringing down, and Anan picking up. That's the mile of the third time the Yidden were counted. It had both milas. It had the mile of Moshe, which is revealing the neshama, and the mile of Aaron, that the Yidden were really elevated. It affected them pnimius. That's why this is the many years, the kfiyas of many years. This is the parsha. This is the parsha of the Ufrufinish of the Yidden and the Eibishter. The Eibishter shall help them.
Jewish nation.
They're reading Nasa already this week.
And then it's all taken to read Nasa. So the emphasis there is a little bit. Some even Chutzlard, there are years that we are in Nasa.
I saw in some book somebody says
Which?
why the Israeli reading the parsha ahead of us and we are still behind. Why don't we do it before? I said because the Abishtak wanted we should read parshas Bamidbar Chutz La'aretz before Matan Torah.
They read Nasa.
No,
Emphasis Nasa.
Otherwise, if we will be together already before, let's say with some parshas before, then we'll be together like them. So in order not to be, that you should be behind, that you should be.
But there is a connection, because over here it starts with Su'u Eseroish, over there it says Nasa Eseroish.
Moshe is already married. Here is you're going to get married.
Shall helfen that the mitzvah this year we should go into Matan Torah, and we should be zocher to be makabel Torah b'simcha b'pnimius, and we should feel the loidir chibosan. We should feel the gilu of neshama, not only in a way that like the first and the second counting, but in the mile of the third counting, where it penetrates in our seichel and our midas, that we're totally in a way of Yisrael v'kutcha b'richu kul echad.
Amen.